And here we go, live. Woohoo! Alright, just doing a little experiment here, streaming. Gonna edit a node module. This is the button events node module. Gonna add some events to it. Right now it can do clicked and double clicked events based on a GPIO input. And we're gonna add a couple additional events, a feature that was requested. So I've actually already made some changes already just to get started, but kind of take a look at it. So I've already edited the package JSON. I'm just going to go in here to the main index.js. So I've actually already added some states for additional events, just the states the button will be in, and then the actual constants for the events that are going to be emitted. So at this point, I need to actually start processing those changes into events. So when there's a change to the GPIO input, actually runs this process last call, and this is where it sees, okay, button event changed. If it's been pressed, then we need to do some processing of the button state based on what the current state is. So we're actually adding some new cases in here. So I just want to stay if it's in a double click state. Then I'm going to set the button state to one of our new states, which is double clicked and pressed. And actually we're actually doing a clear timeout in all cases. So this is actually the timer that is watching to know if it's finished and needs to emit the actual button state. Since it's clearing in every case, let's go ahead and, so we're not just being redundant here. We're just going to do the transition, state transition. We don't need to have this in every case. Okay, there we go. So the button's in a double click state and you press the button again, then it's going to go into a double pressed or double clicked pressed state. So we also need, if it's in a triple click state, then we transition into state triple clicked pressed. Okay, so I think those are the only additional states we need. And then when the button is released, we need to add some processing there. So if it's released and we're in a clicked press state, transitions to double clicked. However, at this point no further transitions, so this is not correct anymore. So if it goes into a double click state, then we need to start the timer again for the next state. Timeout, state, find this, okay, dot, time dot. Actually, I could have just cut and paste that. Actually, in fact, just so we get the comment, let's just copy that whole thing in there. And I'm just going to do a break here, do our next case, because eventually we'll end up with the final state that it'll just emit. But the next possible one is it might be in a state of triple clicked and pressed. So if it's in that state and the button is released, then we're just going to make things easier here. Cut and paste. So we're actually going to go into a state of double clicked. And that's actually the final state. There are no states after that, so we can go ahead and just emit that state. Of course, these comments are not correct anymore. We're transitioning from a, oops, and this is actually wrong as well. This is not double, quadruple, quadruple. Is that right? Yes. So if we're in transition from triple clicked and pressed to quadruple clicked, and then up here if we are in a clicked and pressed state, yeah, this is correct, I believe. Okay, I think we are good there. So that gives us our additional transition states. Okay, and then I think this is the last thing. So the actual emitting of the states. So we need to add, let's do this. We're going to have clicked and pressed states that we're adding. So we'll just, again, to make things easier. So now there's a, after the double click, there's a possible, oops, double click press state. So that's the actual event, button, double clicked and pressed. Okay, that stays the same. And this would be triple clicked. Let's do this. Triple clicked. Okay. And then we need two more for the, this would be state triple clicked and press, no, triple clicked, no, triple, yeah, so we need triple clicked and pressed, and then our actual event of triple clicked and pressed, and then this will be our final, if we're in the quadruple clicked, and we need to emit quadruple click. Okay, so I believe that's it. So let's run our tests just to make sure we haven't broken anything. And of course, these tests are not going to test our new events. This is just testing the old events, the existing ones. So see that we haven't broken anything. That's good. Good sign. So theoretically, these states will now work. So what we probably need to do here is update our tests to test those new states. Although there's actually some additional changes that I want to make here as well. So one of the problems with the test is it shows you what's happening, but it's not really actually testing it. It like creates the events, imitates, you know, button presses and releases, but the test is not actually validating that the events are occurring as expected. So just as we see, so here's the test sequence. It does a click, which is a click test, but there's actually nothing here that validates that the clicked event happened. So this is really kind of a manual test. I want to make it more automated. And so to do that, I'm actually going to change the way this works. So let's see. And I'm actually looking at some old code that I had already written to do this, so I just need to kind of mimic what it's doing. Yeah, so what I had done is I created, I'm actually just going to cut and paste this. I had created a new test method. And then this is called, and actually adds a listener. Yeah, so you can see where it's adding a listener, which I need to include some additional variables in the test that are needed by that. Just put them right here. So basically, this is going to be a Boolean that lets me know if the test passed or not, and then this is just going to be a watcher that if the event happens, it's going to obviously set the Boolean to true to say, yep, I got that event. So we can see here when it actually tests a method. So I'm going to start off by setting the Boolean to false, and then I'm going to, on the button event instance, I'm going to watch for the event, and if the event I'm waiting for happens, then it's going to set the pass to true. Do I need, oh yeah, and this is just a message just so you know what's being done test-wise. Runs the actual method. This is just a wait for the event to actually occur. After it's done, I want to make sure I remove that listener, because we only want that listener just for this specific test. And then just inform if the test failed. There's actually nothing here to say whether it's successful, so it's assumed that if it didn't fail, then it was successful. So to utilize this, I need to change the way the sequence works. And so, again, I'm just copying out of some code that I had written before to where, so that click is replaced with this, to where I'm going to call test. This is my message. I wanted to test the click method, and this is the event that is expected. So I actually don't need this anymore, or this. So I think we can go ahead and run this test now, just to verify that I didn't break anything. And so what should happen is it should test and actually validate that this click works. So npm test, and okay, it appears to work. I mean, it looks identical, right? Or does it? Actually, it never test with defaults. Actually, it didn't. Oh, because I didn't save it. That would help. Save. Test again. There we go. Test clicked event. Got a clicked event. And let's actually create a failure. So here's the method that actually imitates a click. So it does a press, waits for 100 milliseconds, and then release. So if this took a full second, then it wouldn't get a clicked event. So that should give us a failure. Let's just make sure that works. And test failed. So it's doing a clicked event test, but it actually got pressed and released, which is a failure. Cool, that works. So let's put this back to the correct setting, and then so what we need to do is update the other tests to use our new test method. And again, I'm just going to copy from some previous work. Oops. So there's our double clicked. We don't need this, and actually, so this doesn't exist yet. So we need to create this. Let's go down here. Where's our double click test? So after this, let's create a sync function. So this would be the triple click test. So wait, click the button. I'm gonna, oops, sleep for 100 milliseconds, and then we click the button again. We're going to wait 100 milliseconds, and then we do one last click. That should be a triple click. So if you double click here, click twice, triple click, click 3 times. So now this test should work. Okay, yeah, now it's turned yellow. So let's actually validate that that works. So we got our clicked, our double clicked, our triple clicked. Oh, test failed. Button event. Double click pressed. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so let's see if there's something wrong here in our logic, or maybe I sent the wrong event. So I was expecting a triple clicked, right? Test triple clicked event, but instead I got a double clicked and pressed. So it's almost as if it never transitioned. Let's see. So we were in so we went from double clicked, we made it into double click pressed, but then we never transitioned back. So where's state click press? Oh, oops. There is no transition from double clicked to triple clicked. So somehow I managed to skip that. Okay, no problem. So we just need to add the missing transition in here. So this should be going from a state of double clicked and pressed, transition from double clicked and pressed to triple clicked. So we're going to go to a state of triple clicked. Okay. So that should cover that missing state, and let's try our test again, see if and looks like we passed that time. Test triple click event, we got a triple clicked. Okay, excellent. So yeah, good for tests. Okay, so we actually still need to do the quadruple check. Oop. So this would be quadruple. Quadruple click. Quadruple clicked. Quad. And we need a method. Oop, too far. So same thing, we can just take our triple. We're just adding one more sleep, and then wait for our last click. And this is quadruple clicked. Quadruple click. Let's see if that works. Triple. Test failed. Oh, it only got clicked. Why did I get clicked? Okay, let's see. What did we miss here? So we went from let's see, button was released, and we should have went from double click pressed. Maybe it's actually just the event that's being emitted. So should have went to a state of triple clicked. Sorry, that's not right. So we should have been in a state of triple click pressed and then transition to quadruple clicked, and then what's emitted when we're in that state. Event. Yeah, that all looks okay. Did I mess up this definition? Quadruple clicked. Okay, that's not good. So we ended up with just a clicked event. What are we missing here? So went from double click, blah blah blah. So these are the button presses. We ended up in a clicked state. How did we get into a clicked state? Okay, let's find out what's going on here with our actual states. So at the end of a button being pressed, what is the final state? Start button state. Let's also, in our test, we don't want to run all these tests. Let's I just want to do the quadruple test. Actually, it's even, we're going to end up changing these anyway, but so 2, 4, 6. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, see, it went from 2, 4, 6, then all of a sudden to 2. How did it get back to 2? So that must be, all right, let's double check our state numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's odd. So we went from pressed to clicked pressed to double click pressed, and then somehow back to clicked. Let's see. So we ended up here, should have transitioned, but it did not. Double click press. So it came out of this okay, but so somehow it thought it was what? Wait, what is state 2? So it was in a press state. So somehow came back in here and thought it was in a press state, which that's actually the default. So somehow I missed, it's not catching state double click press. Maybe it never ended up into the state triple clicked. State triple clicked. Okay, well let's check this. So we're in a double click press, so we know it made it into this state. And so did it not manage this transition correctly? Okay, let's find out what is our state after the release. Console log. This is the release state. Dot button state. And let's run our test again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 2. Yeah, that's interesting. So we went from, so we made it into this state, and then somehow jumped from state triple clicked all the way back to state pressed. Why is that? Oh, there it is. Yep, it was running the default because there's no break. Excellent. Okay, so let's see if our test succeeds. Yay! That's what we want to see. Okay, let's get rid of these. Don't need these anymore. One more time. Quadruple clicked. Triple clicked. Awesome. Tests are good. Okay, so we can put these back in place. And then we can try adding these tests. So await test. So you just want to test the, what is that testing? Just press and release events, is that what that is? Although that could be interesting. Well, let's go look at this actual test and see what it's doing. Press release. So we are expecting to see the release event, right? Let's do this. So that seems like it's 2 events, and our test function is not really set up to capture 2 events. So let's see, is it looking for like pressed and released? I mean, I guess I could just trigger it off the released, or I could do 2 separate tests, run a test to make sure I get the pressed, and another test to make sure I get the released. Yeah, see, so it does a button press, and then it waits a long period of time to make sure that we don't end up with any of the clicked events. And so then when the button is released, we should get a release event. So right now the test function is only looking for 1 event type. So I could break that into 2 separate tests. Let's go ahead and do that. So instead of doing this, I want to test press. So we can only test 1 event at a time. So press. We want the press event. Let's say, just call it press test. Doesn't exist yet. We're expecting the event pressed. Okay, now let's go create that test. It's kind of just splitting this one up. So it has to do the same thing, but yeah, press. Actually, you know what? I don't really. Wait. I can use the same function. However, this is going to be calls the method. The method, actually I think this will work. I think we can do this. Let's try it anyway. So we can actually just run the same method, press, release, and test for each individual event. We'll just run it twice. So let's first check for the pressed. Test. Our clicked events. Press. Button pressed. Okay, no failure. Excellent. And so we can do this same thing, except we just want to make sure that we're getting the released event. All right, same routine. Click, double click, triple clicked, quadruple clicked, pressed, released. Oh. Make sure that released event is what this is looking for. So the text was just wrong. So it looked like it was running the press test. Actually, this one's looking for release. So that all worked. Awesome. Okay, and so there's one last, what is this? Click, press, release. What is the objective of this test? Let's actually run it and see. Oops. So is that testing 3 different events? Test released. So that was test release. So it's, oh, clicked, pressed. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, clicked. So it should actually be called clicked, pressed. I think that's what it's looking for. Clicked, pressed, and then release. Let's actually look at that for a moment. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is to get the other events where you do a clicked, but you hold the button down after the click. So you can click the button and then go to click it again, but hold it down, and it will be in a pressed state, clicked and pressed. That's kind of what this is testing. So probably don't need to like retest the releases, but yeah, we can probably use this for, well, clicked, pressed, release, and let's actually so we can reuse this function for all the different levels, not just clicked, but double clicked and triple clicked. And so what we're going to do then is say for I is less than clicks, 5 plus, so we need to do okay, click, press, release, and that means for my test, and I want to test click pressed, right? And our method is clicked, pressed, release. And we want to do one click, clicked, press. Let's try that. And let's see what happens. Oops, it fails. Is this, oh, yeah, never mind. I would have to add an additional argument. Yeah. We can do this. So I can keep this method. Let's just click press count, and then I'm going to add oops, make function click press. So this would say click press release 1. There we go. Oops. I got this backwards. Wait. There we go. And again. Click pressed. Oh, awesome. There it is. So click pressed works. Now what we want to do is we want to do the same test, but for a double and a triple. So we got clicked, do double, click press, and this is going to be 2 clicks, and this one's going to be triple. This one goes 3. So in our test up here, let's get rid of this, and we have 2 additional tests. Let's do our double clicked, double clicked, double, and this will be triple, triple clicked, triple clicked, and test. Looking good. Double click pressed, triple click pressed. Awesome. Okay, I think we are done. So let's just double check. So, okay, I've already updated the version number. However, I need to make some changes to the documentation because, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Button event models you generate, button events, click, double clicked. Let's actually, etc. Is that the right syntax? From complex user interaction with the button. Module is used to create class instances, accepts a binary input. State, blah, 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 blah. Debounce logic is used to clean up noisy buttons. Generate a logic generate a variety high-level button events. It's kind of repeated, isn't it? Well, yeah. Release, click pressed. Can I do the same thing, etc. We just added new stuff. Usage, example. These are probably okay, but I just need to note probably where's events. Here we go. So we now have some new events. We have double clicked pressed, triple clicked, triple clicked pressed, and quadruple clicked. Okay. And I believe clicked, clicked, pressed, double clicked, released, So, yeah, these are just examples. Are they, let's see, pressed, clicked. I'm probably not going to write code because I mean it's, yeah, becoming redundant at this point. However, I mean, just to, for some consistency, double clicked, pressed. If I double clicked, pressing the button again, and the double clicked press event will be emitted, and then we have triple clicked. The triple clicked event follows a double clicked press. It's pretty brief, but yeah, like I say, this is all getting kind of redundant. Just want to note that the events are there. Clicked, pressed, press, following the triple clicked event. Once in triple clicked, pressed, and then the final one is quadruple. Can I type? Quadruple clicked, pressed, and yeah, the triple, wait, no, this is not a pressed. A quadruple clicked event follows the triple clicked pressed event. Released button event. Awesome. And that is it. I believe we are ready to publish. Okay, that should be enough for this stream. Everybody have fun.